And welcome back, Air Acolytes, to Breaking Wind, a Last Airbender podcast. I am your host, your gracious host, your ghost host, Jason Roy Gaston. Sorry, I've got Haunted Mansion on my brain right now. And the man over there is my brother from another mother, the one, the only VHS Jace. Good afternoon to you.
Yeah, I'm feeling good, mate. I'm feeling very swampy.
All right, and that's fortunate because today's episode is called The Swamp, which is,
Wow,
I think it's a little different
coincidence.
than the swamp that you are currently experiencing. Thank goodness, a little bit less terrifying. Let us begin just a little bit less vines and elbow leeches as well.
Yeah, a lot more gross.
So we begin with Zuko and Iroh, still on the run. They are no longer royalty. Now they're beggars. Iroh, of course, is just going with the flow. He's into it. He likes it.
He's having a good time, man.
Yeah.
He's having a great time.
Zuko's just a little brat the entire time. Just, I'm a royal. I don't too good for this. And then that's the last we see of him.
It is, but
Yeah.
I think there's something to be said about that scene. There's something to be said about Iroh, that he's so confident within himself. He knows his place. That doing what he does in that scene doesn't offend him. He's not oblivious. He's a very smart man. He's just playing the best of what he's got in the situation. And a good lesson to Zuko.
Yes, and of course Zuko does not take that lesson to heart because a man comes along who's extremely cruel to his uncle, and it just rubs Zuko the wrong way. But as I said, this is the last time we see these two for a while. But now we're going to go back to Team Avatar, who are flying over a swamp. Aang gets this weird longing to go lower, to go land in the swamp. He says, I think we need to go down there. They're like, it's a swamp. It sucks. We don't want to go down there. It's like the entire state of Georgia. We don't want to go down there.
But it's beckoning him. It's beckoning him.
It's like the entire south of Florida. Just stay out of it, Aang. Just stay out of it. But it's beckoning him. And then when Aang decides, no, maybe we shouldn't go, the swamp says, yes, you should, and sends a twister at them. At which point a house lands on a witch and everything's in color. Also, they land in the swamp. And, of course, we get this absolutely hilarious moment where something else has attached itself to Sokka. It seems to be a very strange ongoing joke. I don't know if they continued it after this because it's been so long since I've seen this, but yes, something else attaches itself to Sokka. An elbow leech. Does it attach itself to the elbow, or does the leech have an elbow? It's left up to your imagination.
All he wants, I feel sorry for him so much because all he wants is something to eat. That's his motivation in most episodes.
You know what? He could have ate the elbow leech. That's just because he is spoiled. Here is actually one of the things I liked about this episode the most, and that is the friendship between Appa and Momo, because these guys have been basically glorified sidekicks throughout the entire run of the series. And here we actually see Momo having concern for Appa, Appa having concern for Momo, and we realize these two guys are friends, and they've had this friendship this whole time, and we've never paid attention to them. So I like the little vignettes.
Character story.
I like the vignettes that had these two watching each other's backs. I really enjoyed that. And I'm going to be honest, I liked it better than the main story. And I'm sorry if you're a fan of this episode. I am not. I am not a fan. And I'm going to go into further detail about why. So, in the swamp, things are getting strange in the neighborhood. Something weird's going on, and it don't look good. And there's no one to call. So,
I'm gonna call.
Yeah. So they're just basically saying this swamp is weird. This swamp is scary. There's also birds that have screams, which I thought was a really funny joke. Honestly.
It's a great little joke. You got to give them that one.
They revisited it a couple of times, and it never got old. So I liked that. But then vines rip them away from each other, and our gang is separated. And Katara's like, I've seen the Evil Dead. I know where this is going.
This isn't good for me.
Yeah. They're going to swallow my soul. They're going to swallow my soul. So, and then we're introduced to the Floridians. These two guys. It's
wow.
It's
they are just.
It's Butthead. It's Laurel and Hardy.
Where's the banjo? Where's
I think they ate the banjo. I don't know.
Wow.
Yeah, really.
They're not even trying with those characters, honestly.
And well, what do you think we should do, Bill? I think we should go eat it, Boomhauer. Yeah. You sure do have a pretty mouth, Bill.
Yeah.
Again, I'm not a huge fan of this episode, but I am a fan of this part, and that is Appa saving Momo from the crocodile, because I remember watching this. Appa basically eats a crocodile at one point.
Yeah.
But does not swallow. He just eats it and then spits it out. And the crocodile runs away. Of course, Momo's on top of it.
Yeah, because the level of disrespect Appa had for that croc is awesome.
It's just basically, I could kill you, but I know Aang would never let me live it down because I'm supposed to be a vegetarian, but I haven't had meat in a long time.
You know what I also love about this relationship, the bit beforehand, is when Momo's blowing the whistle to kind of get him up and motivated.
Yeah, and just smack.
Smack. Shut up. Smack. I love that.
I love how they're a team, how Momo jumps on Appa's back when the crocodile's retreating and just hisses at them.
Like he's got game.
I know, he's so adorable. I want a Momo or two. So in the Swamp of Horrors, our team is split up and they start seeing visions. Katara sees a vision of her mother. It turns out to be a tree trunk, and then she cries because that's what you do when you think you see your dead mother and it turns out to be a tree trunk, I guess. Yeah, Sokka sees Yue. I actually thought this was a much better scene.
Yes,
because it was kind of frightening. Turning around and she's right there. Aang has a very interesting scene though, because he sees a girl off in the background.
Which I have no idea who that is, but you clearly do.
Do I though?
Well, he says at the end of the episode that he's seeing someone from the future, even though the other two saw something from the past.
Oh, really? Huh, I didn't notice. But anyway, Aang sees this girl and she runs away from him and he can't get close to her. But that's okay because the team literally just run into each other. So yeah, were they really that lost? Not really.
Not really. It's not a big swamp either, clearly.
No, it's really not. It's like a Zelda swamp with barriers, so you have to end up in a certain place eventually. Meanwhile, in the more enjoyable part of the episode, Appa and Momo are running away from the hillbillies because they've seen Deliverance and they know where this is going.
Appa knows how to bank those corners, though, doesn't he?
Oh, he does. He's a really nimble dude. Considering he's like 480 tons. I mean, he is quite agile.
Quite agile.
Yeah. So anyway, there's Swamp Thing. Swamp Thing's out in the Swamp Thing's in the swamp, and Swamp Thing is swamping the swamp, and he's swamping the team. Anyway, there's a guy who's living inside Swamp Thing.
He's totally nice and reasonable. He spends 10 minutes attacking these people and then is totally cool with the whole thing. That's what I don't like.
And he talks like Hoyt Axton, too. They just go, well, let me tell you a little bit about the swamp. You see, the swamp is where all the swampy things swampity swamp. Sounds like a Disney narrator for the wonders of nature. And I'm just thinking, why is this guy here? What is this episode all about? Well, it's all about Avatar doing Avatar because they have the home tree and there's little blue people living in it, I think. But but the Swamp Thing guy tells them that this one tree is connected to the entire swamp, and it's every single tree that you find in the swamp is connected through this gigantic tree, and it's also connected to the entire world. Interesting thing, it's actually based on something real. It's based on an organism called Pando up in, I can't remember where it's at, but it is a life form it's the biggest life form on Earth, by the way, approximately 206 acres wide and is estimated to weigh collectively 6,000 metric tons. Pando is a collection of quaking oaks.
Oh, wow.
And all of these trees are the same life form.
So if you're a big fan of all this, does this make you a pandophile? Probably should edit that out.
Yeah, you probably should.
Sorry, that's the level of humor.
Why? Ugh. I'm trying to find out where this is at because I would like to visit this thing one day, but
it's an amazing thing, isn't it? So everything is connected organically to every other species in a way.
Yes. It's in Utah.
That's very.
It's in Utah. So yes. So yeah, every tree is related. So yeah, of course it's in Utah. Boy, we have alienated Florida and Utah and Georgia in one show.
Pretty much. And people who
are there
like
any territories of Australia we could offend just to keep things even?
Well, Melbourne sucks. Sydney's full of junkies, and Queensland's run by the mob.
Okay, great.
There you go. That's about it.
Okay, so
but don't upset the emus. Just
don't. They'll beat you. So anyway, Aang, upon realizing that the tree is connected everywhere in the swamp, uses his avatar powers to, I don't know, touch it. So I guess it makes him a pandophile. And he discovers where Appa is, and he goes to the rescue. And when Katara waterbends, the hillbillies are all like, "Hi, you're a waterbender. That means we're kin. You want to have babies together? Because we're kin." And at this point, I just started getting a headache.
I do like how interesting it is that about the water benders is that they don't just keep it in their compartments. Oh, well, it's got to be around water and ice. No, the swamp's full of water. Why wouldn't they be water benders? In fact, you'd have earth benders as well.
I like the whole idea of water bending the plants and the vines and becoming basically plant benders.
Yeah.
I love the variations that we see because we see variations on fire. We've seen the lightning. We'll see variations on earth, and then we'll see like next level bending later on. So yeah, I like that.
Crazy.
So long story short, the hillbillies and the vine guy and Team Avatar all have bug lunch together, and they're all friends now. And Zuko's on this again. He's the blue spirit, and he's beating up people who were mean to his uncle, which is fine. That's fine. It's fair.
Yeah, so I figure because he doesn't have the power he has now, he's going to lean into the blue spirit quite a bit moving forward.
And that's fine. I'm cool with that. If anybody's mean to Iroh, beat him up. Beat him up, but good. But that is it. That is the swamp. I'm going to be honest. My least favorite episode of the series so far, and that's even below the Great Divide. I just saw this as 22 minutes of setup for future episodes. It was not that interesting. I don't understand why Swamp Bender guy was attacking them. I was more invested in Appa and Momo than I was anything that the main three were going through, and I was just bored with this episode. I'm shocked by how bored I was.
The episode fell apart for me is the reveal of the Vine guy.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I can buy into it all the way then, but when you spend all this time against someone who is kicking their butt, Vine guy is kicking their butt. And he's unrelenting. He's not backing off. He's behaving as villainous as a person can behave until he's revealed, and then he's Mr. Nice Guy. So you've lost me.
Oh, no, don't beat me up no more. I'm nice. I was just attacking you because I thought you was hurting my swamp. I'm actually kind of shocked because I did not remember this episode, and this is my third rewatch of this series.
Oh, you blocked it out.
I blocked this episode out. I completely forgot about everything except for the little girl. I completely forgot about
Wow.
everything. Yeah. So I don't know if the other 2 times I watched the series all the way through, if this episode came on and I just glossed out or what. But
You
yeah,
might have.
this is just not good. But
And it's
everything has a silver lining. Every episode has a plus. After all, you learned about Pando today.
yeah. I've become a pandophile now.
Yes,
So
we're both Pandophiles.
yeah. Next episode is Avatar Day.
Yes.
Sure, that'll be positive and everything was awesome.
Oh, I'm sure it will be wonderful.
Avatar Day, I love it. I love it. They have a day they celebrate avatars. That's cool.
Of course, they're talking about the blue skinned Avatar, not this one. That's
yeah.
So weird.
Yeah.
Yes,
So
I see you.
Around and connect
Jake
themselves
Sully,
to
come
each
with me, Jake Sully.
Mm.
It's a good movie. I like that movie.
Why somebody didn't sue somebody, I have never known.
Well, that's why M. Night Shyamalan's movie was not called Avatar, apparently.
What's that? I've never heard of that.
I know. I've already
things.
I've forgotten about that, and I've already forgotten about the swamp.
Yeah.
The
Make
swamp.
up these movies that don't exist.
Oh my goodness, ladies and gentlemen, if you would be so kind, if this is your first time finding us, please like the video, subscribe to our channel, and press that notification icon so you will know whenever Jace and I are on the internet doing the stupid things that people love watching us do. Also, if you would be so kind, please give us a follow on Patreon and give us money, because money is good. Money makes the world go round. Money is, I don't know, money is the lube that lubes the gears that keep our creative imagination flowing and lets us come up with such amazing lines as Pandophile.
We're ashamed.
I'll never forgive you for that. I will never forgive you for that. And of course, be sure to join us next time as we once again journey into Avatar: The Last Airbender and together break wind.
Wow.
Swamp Thing. Swamp Thing.
Oh, yeah.
Hi, Cletus.
This episode smelled as bad as it looked.
Hi, Cletus. Look at that there lemur thing. Did you notice that they said they'd seen a lemur before? So lemurs are not actually extinct.
Oh, wow.
Uh-huh.